Hey everybody, welcome to the Mike McFly YouTube channel. We typically talk about rollerblading and do rollerblading stunts, but we also love Beavis and Butthead, and today we're going to do a quick and dirty overview of the Marvel Comics series. We're going to start out here. We're going to do this kind of fast. This is the 0.5 issue, the half issue, or I think it's referred to as an ash can issue. It has an exclusive story, and this is from March 94. To promote the new Beavis and Butthead comic. This was a supplement to an issue of Wizard, which I would assume would have been February or March 94. That's rare, but not necessarily valuable. Marvel had their own competitor to Wizard, where they talked about upcoming projects and the industry, and that was called Marvel Age. And instead of in a magazine format, it was in like a comic book format. You got Beavis and Butthead on the cover of Marvel Age, March 94. Here's the ultra common first issue. This was released at the height of the comics boom, whenever comic collectors that didn't care about Beavis and Butthead were buying issue number 1 of every comic that hit the market, gambling, speculating, hoping that one of them would become super valuable one day. Don't ever pay anything for that first issue. There's millions of them. Here's issue 2. Now, this comic was done by Rick Parker and his team. There's a little hostility between Rick Parker and Mike Judge because Rick Parker, signs Beavis and Butthead artwork as his own, even though he didn't create the characters. He's just, drawing them based on the style guide. This comic, I liked the 2 issues I had as a kid, but a lot of people say it's not in the same spirit as Beavis and Butthead. And I read through all the TV series, that is, and I read through all of them recently, and people are 100% right on that criticism. Normally I'm a softie and I love everything, but there's just too many like gross out gags and stuff that just doesn't fall in line with the show or the video games. Now, this comic started out in March 94 and it ended in March 96 with issue 28. The issues, I think were pretty poorly distributed, other than maybe the first couple months, because I had never found it at retail. I only ever had issue 15, and what's the other one I had here? Issue 15, and I got, and I got issue 22 for Christmas. Here's issue 9. Get a little dating game thing. It's the first Halloween issue. Oh, here, show the whole thing. Lots of little Easter eggs in the covers, the little inset thing. They started out under the label of Marvel Comics. Then they created like a little sub label called Marvel Humor that appears starting out on issue 9. On this one, looks like it's just back to Marvel Comics. Another shot of that. That's our Christmas issue. Now, they're dated weird because of, I guess, how the comic industry works. You see this one's March, but it comes right after the Christmas issue, and it has some snow going on. So this is like your January issue. That can be noted on this issue as well, because it's, it's clearly Valentine's Day, February, but it's dated for April. Let's keep going. Here's my all these comics. I've picked these up starting around like 2001 when I got a driver's license and a car and started going to comic shops. But this issue I got on a family trip. This exact copy, issue 15, I got on a trip to the Florida Keys, and I had a lot of fun reading it because it also has a spring break theme to the issue. So it was kind of like coincidental that I was reading that on a trip down to the Florida Keys. Here's like an April Fool's issue for June. Yeah, so the only one I have that's my original copy is issue 15. But, you know, I've had these all for like, most of them for like 20 years. You know, there's issue 17. Again, they discontinued that Marvel humor after only a couple issues. Here's a fantasy Woodstock 95 that never happened. We all know about Woodstock 94 was heavily promoted by MTV, as well as Woodstock 99. Here's issue 19. This one I think I got on eBay about 5 years ago or so, just to complete the set. I was still missing a few issues. Issue 20. Not much to say there. Issue 21, got a football theme. And, okay, so starting on issue 19, I missed it. We have the Marvel Absurd comic imprint, I think they call that. This is issue 22. This isn't my original copy, but I got this, I guess it would have been Christmas 95, Christmas present from my parents. It was very, even though, you know, it probably only cost, it says $1.95 on the barcode. It was one of my favorite Christmas presents because it was Beavis and Butthead. Here we got a little Amish theme there. Man, we're already 7 minutes in almost. Gonna wrap this up. Got another Christmas issue there. Another dental thing going on here, or surgical thing like the first issue. Cool Iron Maiden artwork. And you know, these comics, they're not really, it's not like you're reading War and Peace. They're not that good, but the covers tell more of a story than the books themselves. There's an Easter. And then here's the famous issue 28, fabulous last issue. And now instead of having Marvel Absurd, we've got Marvel Defunct. This came out March 96, and the comics industry had went from the highest of high to the lowest of lows. Coincidentally, during this run, it doesn't have anything to do with Beavis and Butthead, but you know, the comics boom started in like 92 and probably peaked in 94. And, you know, Marvel was like bankrupt by 96. Now as a little, well, what are they, I don't know if I'm using it correctly, addendum. We have the 3 trade paperbacks. This one's pretty common. Let's see here. Somebody paid $12.95 for this. This compiles the first 5 issues, I think. Let's see. Dental hygiene, dead from the neck up, tattoo parlor. I guess it's the first 4 issues. Okay. Then this is the Beavis and Butthead Trash Can Edition. For some reason, there's a recurring theme of integrating yams into the artwork, even though yams were never, didn't have anything to do with Beavis and Butthead. Now this is another compilation of a couple more episodes. I think this is like, I guess the first one's 1 through 4, and this is 5 through 8. Pretty cool. These are probably the way to go if you just want a taste of the comics. And now this one isn't like a numbered, this is Beavis and Butthead Holidays and Confused. This doesn't have like a sequence of issues in order. This just has, okay, yeah, so it shows you the Ash Can Edition, shows you the Valentine's Day, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, and the Halloween. So there, it's not like a run of issues in order. It's just a couple random favorite issues of the creators. So that are loosely based around holidays. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole run, the whole shebang of Beavis and Butthead by Marvel Comics. A lot of these issues can be had for really cheap. Issue 28 and really all the 20s can go for quite a bit. You'll probably pay like $50 for issue 28. But yeah, I've been rambling for 10 minutes. That's Marvel's Beavis and Butthead. Have a good one, guys.